Yes, people, what's good? I'm guessing you want to know how March the 14th played out. Alright, before I get into all of that, if you saw yesterday's video, yeah, you'll understand that I'm at war. There's a battle going on. And I think so far, officially being halfway through March, I've come to realize that I can give a title to the battle. And it's mind versus motivation. Because last month, February, everything seemed physical. My body's got accustomed to the aches and pains. So the issues, there's no issue with the aches and pains. It's expected. What I've come to realize is the battleground is now mental, and it's all in the cerebral. I'm at a point now. In fact, yeah, I'm at a point now where I think in week 3 of February, my resolve started waning, and I started questioning whether or not this was worth doing. But I got over it. Now I kind of feel like the war has continued, even though I thought I'd got past it, you know what I mean? So I'm guessing that was just a battle. The war rages on, people. I'm still battling this whole motivation thing, and I've come to realize that when you start something new, it's exciting, and that's where the motivation comes from. At this point, this isn't new anymore. It's becoming regular daily life, and the motivation isn't there for it. It's becoming more task. It's becoming a task, and obviously the motivation for it, as I said last month, is to not look like fucking Cleveland Brown, yeah, on the beach in June. I have another channel, or alongside Nick, we've got a channel called The Freedom Season on YouTube, and it's all about midlife flipping, people rediscovering themselves and going on budget holidays, and realizing there's more to parenthood and working 9 to 5 and just surviving. It's about finding freedom. So part of this Dad Bod to Discipline journey is in anticipation of a holiday that I have booked in June. And I anticipate sitting on the beach, not feeling like a pufferfish. So that should be in itself motivation enough. It was enough motivation to start this accountability diary. So the fact that I have to update every day and I don't want to keep banging on and saying the same stuff means that, I shouldn't struggle with going out there and performing. However, I find it very challenging. And yeah, I don't know, I'm really kind of at a loss as to what to do with the process, because I believed that I'd be further ahead than I am. I haven't weighed myself. I don't care about weight. I care about physical and mental, I don't know, what's the word? I was trying to find a fancy word for change. Metamorphosis, that's it. Fancy word for change, metamorphosis. So maybe I'm just not being realistic, and I expected some rapid transformation, because from being pretty stagnant to doing something, there's going to be change. And to be fair, in the first month, there definitely was. Things have probably slowed down a bit this month, partly because my work rate slowed down. And I need to sort that out. So I say all of that to say this. The 14th, we are now 6 weeks in. And I've been negotiating with myself. Because in modern warfare, the biggest stick doesn't always win. What I've come to realise is sometimes you've got to actually hold debates with yourself and negotiate compromise. Now, when this challenge started, I said I wanted to hit a minimum of 10,000 steps a day, but ideally I wanted 15. And I'm starting to realise that I'm actually struggling sometimes to hit the 10. So, like I said, the 14th was this negotiating day. And I had a nice little conversation with my inner slob. And we've decided that providing I can hit 10k before I finish work, then I don't have to do an external walk. Because that's the only real modifier that I can think of at the moment that will keep this interesting. And not only that, it will motivate me throughout the daytime to try and get those steps in so I can relax at night. So, like I said, this war is still raging, and what feels like a solution to it at the moment is to move the goalpost slightly. So, okay, the minimum is now acceptable. You haven't got to strive to exceed. If you can hit the minimum by 6 p.m, you don't have to go out and do extracurricular unless you actually want to, and it becomes a choice rather than a mandatory task that has to be completed on a daily basis. So, in reality, that's where I'm at, people. So, I didn't do a dedicated walk yesterday. I worked my ass off. I did the blue ass fly thing at work. I made sure take extra steps when I didn't need to. I thought I did everything possible to rack up 10,000, and I just about did it because I had a fairly busy day doing what I'm actually paid to do. So, fortunately, I'd hit the 10,000, which enabled me to just go home and kind of coast for the rest of the evening. Thank God, because hitting the 10,000 wasn't particularly easy, but it did make things interesting. You know, the sort of things that you could just, okay, I need to go to the shop and grab something, will make you park the van and walk a little bit further than you need to because you're trying to cop those extra few steps. So that worked out. And according to Pedometer Plus Plus, where that left me for the day was sitting pretty at 11,723 steps. Job done. And you know what? When I was growing up, there used to be a British Telecom advert with Bob Hoskins in. It was like a buzz line for a while. I think the punchline was like, it's good to talk. People, sometimes it's good to have a conversation with yourself about what you're going through and what your inner thoughts are in relation to the environment you're in. Negotiate better terms for yourself in order to achieve what you want. Your future self will thank you for that in the long run. And on that note, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Peace.